Everyone's probably started coming out with the first video again in a few months here. I'm going to be talking about the Magic Pro Tour Final Fantasy that literally just finished not too long ago, not even an hour ago, with Ken Yukihiro winning with Mono Red. The kind of the story, I guess the story of the Pro Tour is just the dominance of Izzet Prowess, putting in 140 copies a day, or 42.3% of the metagame. Azorius Omniscience is only not even half of its share at 19.9% or 66 stacks, and then Mono Red, which did end up putting four copies in the top eight, but it was 10.9% and or 36 stacks. But basically, the top eight was I can feel the Mono Red deck has been pretty stock for a while. It's got a pretty stock package, but there were a few different versions of Izzet in the top eight. So four Izzet decks and four Mono Red decks. And just for the comparison, Pro Tour Ether Drift here Gruul Ice was 18.9% of the meta, or 66 decks, with Esper Pixie being 16.6%, or 58 decks, or Overlords, Domain Overlords being 50.2%, or 53% of them, so 53 decks in that standard meta game. I think the big difference is lately is that Tarkir Dragonstorm, which I don't believe had a Pro Tour, gave us Corey Steelcutter, which is a staple in both standard and modern. I believe Legacy and I don't know about Vintage, but it is a card that pretty much pushed the Is it Prowess list over the top. Mono Red has almost always been good. But anyways, there is a banned and restricted list update that is happening in about 8 days, so just over a week. But some of the main cards that people have been talking about banning are possibly Monstrous Rage, which has been a really good card ever since it's been printed, and then Stock Up, which we got in Ether Drift. But the damage output for Monstrous Rage is just absurd for a single red mana, and Stock Up is just pure card advantage. It enables both Izzet Prowess and Azorius, Mono Red, and Izzet play Monstrous Rage. So it's good card in both. So I'd imagine you could probably knock some power out of both. We'll start with the top three decks from the Pro Tour here. And I guess you could, I haven't really I heard Steel Cutter talked about too much, but another card here that was really good from the Final Fantasy set was Vivi Ornithure here. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never really played many of the Final Fantasy games. But this card can just make an absurd amount of mana here and just get so much incidental damage for what you want to be doing anyway. So I think those are some of the cards that could be talking about. Anyways, just figure I'd talk a bit. I mean, it was really good to see him. It was really good to see Ken Yukihiro win the top eight, like win the Pro Tour this weekend. It was really good. If you haven't watched that final match, his reaction was just so good. So, anyways, we only talk about we just hear about standard. Like, I don't think standard will go without a ban, and I don't think Vivi will get a ban a few weeks after its release. I don't think Steel Cutter will either. So maybe Stock Up or in Monstrous Rage with Vivi, or I guess or Steel Cutter being the some of the backup choices. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on the Pro Tour. So let me know if you liked it. I mean, it was interesting. I was super happy to see D Rude make a top eight of a Pro Tour. Somewhat local, he used to be somewhat local to me, I guess, when I was in Ontario. But anyways, thanks for watching.